Welcome to the Sellernomics Podcast. In today's special episode, we are going to share some great tools and software available to Amazon sellers. Special thanks to our sponsor, GETIDA. Did you know you can get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at GETIDA.com/Sellernomics? Now it is time to show us what you got with your host, Rob Stanley.
Hey everyone, Rob Stanley here. Hey, we got a great one today. One of my good friends, Mina, is going to be coming on in just a second. He's going to talk about how to dominate your Amazon ads. If you're not familiar with Mina, man, you must not be looking at social media because he is everywhere and all over the place on social media. He's also the owner of Trivium Group. He's going to be sharing his actual dashboard, which is really cool. Let's get him in the studio here. What's up, Mina?
What's up, man? I am super excited to share this. This is going to be really cool. For a few reasons. Number one, I've been talking about this dashboard for a while, but it's always been manual. So I'm going to show you actually the automated one that I've built that now anyone can have if they want to. And then I'm just going to kind of educate people on what they should be looking for. I get more and more people launching products and they're like, man, I'm stuck. Like, what am I doing wrong? What am I doing right? And it's very, very simple because there's, a few main metrics that if you understood it and if you saw how everything worked together, you understand that this is what you should be doing or that's what you should be doing. And so that's what we're going to cover today. And it's going to hopefully make everyone a better business owner. And I know I was sharing with you some very exciting news. So it's actually really cool. We have one person, inside of Trivium that launched their own brand, and we've been able to scale them. They're doing about $1,000 a week in profit now.
Wow.
We're working on relaunching Brandy's brand. I have a brand, the personal brand that's coming out pretty soon that we're looking to launch. And then I have another person on the team that is just talked to me today about us finalizing their brand. So it's really cool to see that, we're helping people build brands, because I would love for them to have, make a lot of money off of those brands. And then at the same time, kind of like just love what they do. And so they don't have to do it, but they enjoy doing it.
Absolutely. Hey, everybody out there, be sure to hit that like, subscribe, and also leave a comment. If you want Amina to answer a question as we're going live, more than happy to do that. Or if the show's already over and you're watching this on video or on YouTube, leave a comment down there. I'll make sure Mina gets it answered. And just before that, got to say congratulations to Mina and Brandy for getting engaged. Got to throw that out there real quick.
Thank you, man.
I've always been a big fan of Mina's and Brandy's, and they're great people. You know what time it is, Mina? It's time to show us what you got, man. So let's get to it.
I'm ready to show you what I got.
Tell us what we're looking at here, and then get us going.
Perfect. Okay, so this is the dashboard, right? And you guys might be familiar with this template. And I created this template for a reason, because I was always looking at my data in a very fragmented way. I was looking at the data in terms of, let's look at the campaign manager. Let's look at our PPC spend, PPC sales. But what I didn't realize was that, PPC spend also affects total sales. And so you just looking at PPC sales was not accurate. And then I was making emotional decisions based on that. And I wasn't measuring sessions either. When in reality, if you look at the breakdown of how advertising works on Amazon, is you're creating campaigns, you're showing up in the search, that's impressions. And then based on how good your click-through rate is, you get a certain number of those impressions are going to turn into clicks, which depends on two things: how attractive and clickable your listing is. And then the second thing is, are you driving the right traffic to, are you advertising on the right keywords? And so I wasn't tracking this either. And then once you're in there, so it goes launch campaigns, get impressions, get clicks, and then get conversions. And I wasn't tracking my conversion rate either. And then whenever I would look at my data, I would just look at a chunk of time. Let's look at 30 days. Let's look at, 7 days. Let's look at 14 days. Let's look at 60 days. But what does that even tell you? What if I told you my average weight over the last 3 months was 185 pounds? Doesn't give me enough information, right? You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
But what if I told you that, we're October now. What if I told you in June I was 185, in July I was 182, in August I was 181, and now whatever in October I'm 180. You're gonna be like, wow, you're dropping in weight. That's cool. And so this was the whole purpose of creating this dashboard. Is like, okay, me getting a bunch of numbers what's your PPC spend, what's your sales, doesn't really matter if I can't, benchmark and go week over week over week, what's changing. And so now we're averaging, and this is now what the dashboard looks like. Now, this is our custom dashboard. It's built on My Real Profit. No one has access to it. If you guys want this automated dashboard, hit me up, mina@triviumco.com, or, Facebook, LinkedIn, whatever, and we'll get you set up with this dashboard. It's automated, or I'll give you this for free. You can fill it out yourself with a VA. Anyways, so now what I'm looking for is week over week trends. Now, let's talk about the different metrics that I'm monitoring. PPC spend, PPC sales. Honestly, I don't even care about this column at all, but people want to see it. Total sales, that's what really matters. Sessions. So when I increase my PPC spend, I'm looking to see that my sessions are going to go up, because as I'm spending more money and launching more campaigns, I should be getting a proportionally, same amount of growth on my sessions. So in this case, my PPC spend increased by 24%. My sessions increased by 16.7%. That's fine. There's always going to be a little bit of a discrepancy. But if my PPC spend increased by 100% and my sessions increased by 20%, that means that I'm just overspending. I'm spending way more money than I should, because it's the same people, that are just costing me more money. I should be paying almost the same amount of money every single time to get more people into the listing, right? Not more. Cost per session. Now, this is a huge metric for me, because it tells me how efficient my traffic is. As you can see here, I went from 85 cents to 90 cents. It's a little bit of an increase, but it's fine. It just means that I'm paying a little bit more for my traffic. Now, if with everything being the same, right? Like if PPC spend is the same, if your cost per session goes up, it means you're losing organic traffic. And if your cost per session goes down, it means you're gaining organic traffic. If your PPC spend goes up and your sessions go up in a direct proportion, your cost per session should be the same, or maybe slightly increase, because you're spending a little bit more money to acquire that traffic. Now, if you cut your PPC spend and you notice that your cost per session went down, that's good. It means for similar amount of sessions, you eliminated the bad ad spend, you lowered bids, and you're getting the same amount of sessions at a lower cost, or maybe now organic is picking up for you. And so that's why I recommend doing ebbs and flows, right? Where you scale, increase PPC spend, increase sessions, increase revenue, your organic rank goes up, and then when you optimize the ads for profit, your organic ranking and your organic sessions will carry you, and you'll have a lower cost per session. But there's another very, very important reason why I track this. I'll mention it at the end. Unit session percentage. I mean, if you're not tracking your conversion rate, you don't know if your ads are working or not working, because your conversion rate is good or bad. So I'm always tracking how my conversion rate is. If it's improving, that's good. If it's not improving, if it goes down, I'm looking at my listing. What's happening? Is it because, my main image, my title, my bullet points, my description, my A+ content, whatever, my reviews, or is it just because maybe I started scaling and sending some traffic, and that traffic is not that good? And you only know if you're tracking everything week over week, and if you're also documenting your actions. So not just doing a bunch of random actions and never taking note of anything. Click-through rate is going to tell you how desirable is it for your product to be clicked on. Now, in this case, this is 0.8%, is very good, very good. We've seen that 0.2% and under rarely ever performs, but anything, above 0.3 to 0.57 is very, very good. 1% is killer. And again, this is at a certain level of scale. If you're too low, if you're maybe spending $50 a day, $20 a day, it might not be indicative of what your actual click-through rate is. Cost per click is good to measure, right?
Quick question for you. I'm kind of just thinking, like, this data could be really valuable. Let's say maybe you have a seasonal product, but you're all of a sudden seeing a spike at a different time, and you've got a couple of years of this data kind of showing, like, hey, because you're tracking everything, let's say, for the last year. Yep. What you could do is, besides knowing that, hey, during my seasonal, I probably want to increase my pay-per-click. But what if you got a spike somewhere and you're like, every year you got the spike, but you can't figure out why? You still might want to use this data to still increase your pay-per-click at that particular time. I mean, we all know Q4, obviously, almost everybody's going to increase their PPC, but this can maybe help you also find just like times of the year when it happens to spike more, where you get more sales, then you can increase that PPC to drive it. So I love this data. Go ahead.
Yeah, you can, I mean, having this data historically is incredible, because then you also see what's like the trending. And for me, I know like historically in Q4, MMA nutrition starts trending down. Sales, cost per clicks go up. So what I'm doing is I'm saying, okay, you know what, in Q4, I'm going to cut my losses. I'm really going to lean out and maybe take that time to do other things and focus on other parts of the business. And because I know when Q1 comes, I'm going to be well stocked. I'm going to save a lot of that money from the PPC budget, and I'm going to put it in Q1. And in Q1, that's where I get a big spike, and there's a lot of people coming in. There's a lot of people, buying and stuff like that. And so everything kind of works out better for me, in that time. So very, very good point, Rob. Acos tacos, for me, I don't really care that much about Acos, guys. It's very, very variable. It's not really indicative of anything. Tacos is, and I know, like, let's say, for example, that we have a 50% tacos, 50% profit margin. If I have a 78% tacos, it means I'm, losing money. Then we have the profits here, the profit per unit. So I know what my actual profit per unit is. So if I'm spending more as a CPA, so here I have an average $12 profit per unit, and I have a $17 CPA, that's too expensive. Now, this is what I want to comment on. Here, as you can see, we're losing money. We're losing profit. Profit is the biggest indicator of how your business operates, not your tacos, Acos, whatever, anything else. It's simply your profit. That's the number that's going to get transferred to your bank account. And so you see here, as the PPC spend goes up, overall sales are also going up. And we increased here by 400. We increased here by 800. So pretty good increase, if you ask me. Now, there is a reason that the CPA is too high. There's cost per acquisition. And there's a reason we're losing profit. It could be either in the cost per session, or it could be in the conversion rate. And if you look at this, you have a 90-cent cost per session. So it costs you 90 cents to bring one person into the listing, and you have a 5% conversion rate, which means it requires 20 people to come to the listing for one of them to convert. As a result, 20 people times 0.9 cost per person, basically unique visitor coming into the listing, is a $17, $78, or $18 cost per acquisition. So now we can very, very easily identify where the problem is. This is a 90-cent cost per session. It's not high. It costs you $1 per person to come into the listing. We have $12 per unit in profit. So I'm okay spending what, $6, right? Half of it to acquire a customer. Yeah. So for me to get to that $6 mark, that means that I need 6 people to come into the listing and one of them to convert, which means you're going to be sitting around an 18% conversion rate, right? If I do my numbers right, 1 divided by 0.18, 5.5. Okay, so whatever, I'm close. But anyways, you need 17, 18% conversion rate for it to make sense. And we're at 5 right now. So my focus shouldn't be, man, I'm stressed about the PPC. My focus should be, okay, I need to continue to grow my PPC spend and my sales velocity and all of that stuff. But the quickest way to get this number from almost 3,000 to 6,000 is just to double that conversion rate, which means look at my price, look at my reviews, look at my main image, look at my bullet points, look at my enhanced brand content, look at my reviews, look at all these different factors that affect conversion rate, and then try and impact them. And then I would never know this without having a sheet like this. I would never know this without being able to track. I would never know where the issues are. Now, I want to talk about a few common trends that I should be looking at generally as any business owner. So let's start with the simplest, launching. So when you're launching, what are you looking for? You're looking for a steady increase in PPC spend with a steady increase in sessions, with a healthy click-through rate, with a somewhat decent conversion rate, so that your blended CPA is not anywhere entirely, $50 for a $20 product, right? So there needs to be a decent conversion rate. Again, cost per session not too high. And this is, I mean, you're going to ask me, okay, what's too high? What's too low? It really depends on like your CPCs. So in this case, when you have $1 CPC, you're looking at, you want to be less than that CPC. I mean, even if you're equal to the CPC, that's fine, because that means that you're basically on point, that every person that clicks on you is a unique visitor, right? It means your ads are pretty efficient. Now, if we can, we could probably cut that in half, because we also are getting organic sessions. And so, but we'll notice that as we launch, that will drop. So your CPC and your cost per session, there'll be a bigger gap. So if you have $1 CPC, you get a 50-cent cost per session, because half of the people are clicking on your ads and the other half are coming in organically. And so what I'm looking to notice here is an increase in PPC spend, an increase in sessions, conversion rate being decent, and all that stuff. Yes, there will be a certain level of loss and bleeding in the profits. Now, when you're launching, you are going to lose money. Understand what your tolerance is. How much money can you lose per month, for the sake of investing in the business? For me, it could be $2,000, $4,000 a month. I'm okay losing that money, because I know that in 4 months, I'm going to have decent sales velocity and decent conversion and all of that stuff, because I'm going to have reviews and everything. And by that point, I'm able to start bringing in money, and I've taken advantage of the honeymoon period, and my sales velocity is high. So that's my acceptable burn rate. Now, Rob, you know this. Any business in the Amazon space, any newly launched software or company, they have a burn rate, right? And they're okay spending money.
Absolutely.
On employees, on advertising. Yeah, I mean, if you want to touch on that, because you're aware, I want to shift people's mindsets from thinking that, hey, we can be immediately profitable on Amazon to like, what is an average company burn rate? Would you say, Robbie, like in this space, like how to think about that?
That could vary. I mean, for me personally, when I was running my company, I actually knew my burn rate, my daily burn rate. So I got it all the way down, because I was so very into a lot of spreadsheets and really kind of microing, which, by the way, isn't necessarily the best way to do it. You should probably be looking at more of like a monthly type, or even a weekly. But I was looking all the way even down to the day. I knew by the day how much I was burning that day and how much I was making that day, and whether I was positive or negative that day. Again, that's probably a little too micro, but it was probably better for the week, because we would always have like a good Monday, and then as the week got towards the end, it would slow down. So you do want to know that, right? You want to know your overhead. And the reason I'm kind of not avoiding the answer, Mina, is because there's so many variations, right? Somebody who works at home versus somebody who has a warehouse with staff. Those are going to be different burn rates, but you need to know what it costs. What does it cost to run your company, is what Mina is getting at. And if you don't know that, you need to figure it out soon.
Yeah, and you have to have an acceptable amount. So, for example, I could say I'm starting a PPC agency. I'm gonna hire 4 employees. I'm gonna hire an ops manager, an analyst, 1 brand manager for support, and I'm gonna do like this kind of marketing. And so my staff is gonna cost me $20,000. My marketing is $10,000. Overhead is $5,000, and so I know that I'm gonna be burning $35,000. But of course, as I do that, I'm going to start getting clients. And as I get clients, that revenue comes in. And eventually I hit a tipping point where the revenue is greater than the burn rate. And now I have a positive profit. And it's the exact same thing on Amazon. Is you are going to launch, continue to spend more money on PPC. Your like sessions are going to increase. Your sales are going to increase. Your organic rank is going to increase. And then over time, like I said, we're here at 1,700, 2,100, right? You can see that the tacos is 78%. Now we're at 2K 2,900. And this is a product that just launched, 71%. And so the gap will keep getting bigger, because I am working on improving sales velocity, improving organic rank, noticing that my PPC spend. So right now my PPC spend goes up and my sessions go up by a smaller amount. I'm waiting for that inflection point where my PPC spend goes up and my sessions go up by a bigger amount, because I'm also increasing my organic ranking. And then at the same time, I'm working on and you see here, conversion rate is going up. And guess what we're doing here? Between 4.38 and 5 reviews, we're getting more and more reviews. And so We're getting more reviews, and at some point we're going to hit that inflection rate where, yes, we are burning money, we're losing money, but it's getting smaller and smaller. And it's not getting smaller because we're optimizing. It's getting smaller because we have the other levers that bring revenue into the business improving. Conversion rate is going up, and then organic rank is going up, and both of those are helping us. Of course, you're going to be optimizing. You don't want to just burn money, but this is what I'm looking for when I'm launching. I'm looking for a positive correlation between PPC spend, sessions, total sales. Yes, I understand that the ROAS is not good, and we're losing money, and I know it's temporary, and I know that we're taking advantage of the honeymoon phase. We're selling a decent amount of units every single day. The other thing to also be worth look at, and again, you can get this all from the dashboard, is what is your profit per unit. And so in this case, we have $180, 6 units sold. This is the FBA fee, this is the referral fee, this is the cost of goods, and this is the the profit. And I'm starting to pay attention. Let's go all down here, right? Let's go back here. So this is now another day where 22 units sold, 500, 89 FBA, 78 referral fee, 397 on the reviews, refunds, cost of goods. It's important to look at your cost of goods and understand, is this equation making sense? Because if my cost of goods is so high and my sale price is so low that my marketing needs to be at a 10% tacos for me to be profitable, then you have a fundamental like a finance problem where your Amazon sale price minus your FBA fees minus your cost of goods leaves you with very little room for both marketing and profit. And so again, you should be noting that, and you'll notice we had it here: sale price, Amazon fees, cost of goods, and now it's built in on its own page, and it now includes like discounts, coupons, other things like that, because sometimes we'll notice that the issue isn't with the advertising being a problem or whatever. It's just we have such a high refund rate. In this case, $86 refunded, 470, that's 20% of that day was refunds. Why is that so high?
Wow.
And then we're like, okay, let's look into this. Maybe we need better structure of the product. We need this, we need that. It could be a million things. So that's another thing to kind of keep in mind. Now let's go back here. We talked about the launch. Now let's talk about the two different phases beyond the launch. The two different phases beyond the launch, there is scaling, and then there's optimizing for profit. And so when I'm scaling, it's very, very, very similar to the launch, except with the launch, like I expect this momentum build up, right? So increase spend, increase spend, increase spend, increase spend, increase sessions, and then over time the momentum builds up, and so that session increase eventually picks up due to the organic, and we're in a better position. With scaling and optimizing for profit, when I'm scaling, these are the numbers that I'm looking for: an increase in spend, an increase in sessions, a potential increase in a potential loss in conversion rate or click-through rate, because I don't know the ads that I'm targeting. I don't know if they're going to be good or bad. I'm testing, right? I'm testing 10 different broad keywords that hopefully are bringing me new sessions, but some of them could be bad, and so that's why my conversion rate could drop. But I'm looking for that positive trend between spend, sessions, again, without a huge discrepancy in the percentage of change. So I don't want to see 100% increase in PPC spend with only a 5% increase in sessions, and then my total sales to go up. So everything is going to increase, but I'm also going to experience a loss in profit. So this might not be a good example because we're in the negatives and it's launching. But I'm thinking like you have $1,000 in profit, it drops down to 800 because I'm spending that money to scale, and some of it is not profitable. And so if I took $1,000 increase in ad spend, 500 of that had a good ROAS, 300 had a not so good ROAS, and then 200 was just spent money and didn't make any sales. The good and the not so good cancel each other out, so we have increase in revenue, no change in the profit, but then that last 200 of spend and no sales, that just cut into our bottom line right away. And I should expect that. It's part of the game. With Amazon, So many people try and anticipate and predict the future. And I don't think I think the easiest way to go about it, in my opinion, is to just be reactive to the data. Very fast reactions. The data goes up, you do this, data go down. Yes, it's good for me to anticipate what's going to happen. I am anticipating that an increase in spend is going to result to an increase in sessions, and that's what I'm expecting. And if it doesn't go according to plan, I'm going to research it. But it's too hard trying to figure out this keyword is going to work, this keyword is not. And it's so much easier, more efficient, faster, and more reliable to just launch the keyword, get the data, and optimize based on that data. Could be, I thought electrolyte powder would be an incredible keyword for me, and it wasn't. It was too expensive, didn't make money. And then unflavored electrolyte powder was a killer keyword for me, and I didn't expect that, or whatever. The million examples I can bring up. So in the scaling cycle, you will only know this because you can now track it on your dashboard and see an increase in spend. Now, if we go to Amazon, right, let's go here to Campaign Manager. What are the different levers that you can pull when you're trying to scale? So it's pretty simple. You can create campaigns. You can go into the targeting tab and you can increase bids. You can go into a campaign and increase bid by placement. You can go here. You notice I have a good ROAS here, good sales. I have a good click-through rate. See, in this case, we have a very high click-through rate up here. So when people see it, they do click on it. So increase this to 40% and so on. And so these are the levers that you can pull. Launching new campaigns, increasing bids, increasing budgets. Increasing budgets as well. I didn't mention that, but you can go back. You can increase budgets. Right here, you can go to the budgets tab and very, very easily sort by the highest ROAS campaigns, increase the budget. So see, this one is a good one. And then the cool thing is they also tell you the estimated missed sales. So if your average in time in budget is less than 100%, you could be missing out on sales, and they'll kind of estimate that here for you. So that's the different levers that you can pull to increase PPC spend and hopefully increase sessions, increase sales, and that's when you're scaling. Now, there is a few pitfalls, so make sure that you track your increase in sessions. If you notice that you're increasing PPC spend without a lift in the sessions, which means it's defeating the purpose, right? Because we're trying to find new sessions, new people. If you notice an increase in spend without sessions, that could mean a few things. Number one, you're targeting organically. So basically, you're ranked on position 1 organically, and now boom, you slapped on an ad, a PPC campaign, and guess what? It's the same people, but now instead of clicking on your organic, they're clicking on your paid, your ad. Okay, and then that can be resolved in a few simple ways, which is, if you notice you're high, you're on your organic rank, lower the PPC, bring yourself to page 2 or 3 and see what happens. So that can fix it. The second thing is launching sponsor brand display and video. If you're launching sponsor brand, sponsor display, sponsor video, you notice that your PPC spend goes up and your sessions don't. It could be that it's the same people clicking on the video and the headline search ad and the ad and the organic. So be careful of that. Those are the pitfalls. And honestly, I was just working with one of the brands and they kept pushing for sponsor brand. And I said, no, I don't think we should do sponsor brand. I think we should wait. And they kept pushing for it. We launched it. And then in the campaign manager, sponsor brand performance was beautiful. But I looked at their profits. I'm like, guys, we used to do 90K a month in profit. We're down to 60K. And it can't be such a coincidence that our ad spend on sponsor brand is close to 30K. And then finally they agreed. We turned it off and nothing changed. The profits came back. And it's literally, I think, an attribution issue with Amazon. And so just beware that might happen. I'm not saying it's always the case, but I'm just saying it's something that I've experienced. Now, I want to cover the final piece here, which is optimizing for profit. You should be, in my opinion, picking one of two of these modes, either scaling or optimizing. If you're scaling, you're looking to increase things. If you're optimizing, you're looking to cut down on the spend and become more profitable. If you follow that trend, you scale you get more revenue, and then you optimize, and you get more profit, and higher than before. Scale, optimize. And the goal of scaling is to discover new keywords that could be profitable. The goal of optimizing is to kill everything that wasn't, keep only the profitable ones, and then over a year accumulate more and more and more and more profitable ones. And in the cutting phase, quote unquote cutting phase, or in the optimization phase, I'm looking to cut my PPC spend down. Notice that my sessions have gone down, but not as much. So my PPC spend goes down by 20%. My sessions go down by 5%, 10%. My cost per session drops, because that's really going to be the true measure of how effective my traffic is that am I driving people to the listing at a lower cost, by not spending money on the things that are not converting. My unit session percentage or conversion rate should go up, because I'm killing the bad traffic, keeping only the good traffic. And then my profits should go up. And those are the metrics that I'm paying attention to. Click-through rate can also improve as well, because, again, you're blocking bad traffic, and you're keeping only the good traffic. And so those are the two modes. And this is the best way is to look at that. And, also have something where you're looking at all of the weeks and you can notice the trends. Let's look at here, PPC spend. So we're going 400, 900, 480, 1300, 1800, 2200, 1700, 2100. And I'm noticing, see, scale, spend went up, sales went up, sessions went up, conversion rate went up, cost per session also went up, which is anticipated. Profit went down. We're investing more and more into scaling, so our profits are going down. And then we take a week to optimize. We notice a dip in spend, dip in sales, improvement in the cost per session, conversion rate, and then we scale again, and then optimize it, or we scale again. We're anticipating increase in spend, increase in sales, but there's going to be increase in cost per session, increase in sessions, increase in cost per session, a drop in the profit. But in this case, we can see that the momentum is picking up. And so I'm anticipating by the end of this week, we're going to have more spend, more sales, more everything, and probably the same or a better profit, because now the momentum of organic is picking up. And then there's a couple things to always keep an eye out on. If you want to, your business outside of Amazon consists of improving your product, improving your branding, understanding your audience better, research and development. But then on Amazon, it consists of two things, right? Traffic and conversions. So we've covered the traffic side, launching campaigns, optimizing, and then, the levers when you're optimizing is you're going to either pause certain keywords or campaigns, lower the bids. I recommend always lowering the bids and adding negatives before pausing. So lowering the bids, adding negatives, removing bid by placement. And those are the actions that will drop that PPC spend for things that are not working. And then the other half of the equation is conversion rate. So conversions, so traffic and conversions. And you should be constantly trying to test different elements that can improve your click-through rate and conversion rate. And that's why you should be tracking it. So, and this is, again, my advice and what I've seen work very, very successful for brands that are crushing it is, let's go to Amazon. So for the visual people like me, let's go to mushroom coffee, because I am interested in mushroom coffee. Okay, so we notice here we have a few products. Let's say that this is our product or something. The things that I can improve here: the main image, the price, the reviews, the if it's Prime or not, right? Climate friendly badge, the price per ounce. If there's any elements of the main image that can make it more attractive. So all of these things are like, look at this. These are things that can make the product look more attractive. All of these things are things that can improve your click-through rate. So it is worth tracking, and then say, okay, I'm going to spend 2 weeks. You scale, and then you optimize for profit, and now your profit is good. And then you say, guys, I want us to keep PPC steady. Just if there's things that need to be added as negatives, do it. If there's keywords that have too high echoes, do it. But other than that, I want to improve our click-through rate. So you're going to test the main image. You're gonna go to product opinion or PickFu, and then split test different main images. Find one that works. Go into Amazon Manage My Experiments and do an A/B test. Monitor your click-through rate here, because it's Amazon's A/B test, yes, but how accurate is it? Like, are we 100% beyond a shadow of a doubt? Trust Amazon. The only thing I trust at the end of the day is my sales, my spend, how much they're taking out of my credit card, my sales, how much money revenue, and then the dollar amount and profits that is being transferred to my bank. That's what I trust. Everything else, these numbers, I don't know. They could be not accurate, not real. But I'll know this: if my conversion rate goes up, I'll notice my sales go up. So I'm testing it either way. And again, take the different elements, try getting more reviews, try messing with the price. Maybe you're at $19.99 and people are like, I don't know if I want to buy a mushroom coffee for $19.99. Ooh, 32. Yeah, that sounds like a premium mushroom coffee. I'm interested in that. You never know. And you could get maybe 2/3 of the traffic with $10 more. And now you're making way more profits. And so those are different elements. And then same thing when you are in here, you can do the exact same thing with conversion rate, and conversion rate just has a little bit more. Try adding videos, try having better, especially the second image, because people buy from the images. Optimize your title, optimize your bullet points. Okay, optimize your bullet points right here. Let's see, add a virtual bundle. Maybe that pushes your competitors down, and as a result, it's going to be like they're not going to see this, and maybe they're going to convert better. Optimize your A+ content. Have the from the brand, they're missing the from the brand, like a branded A+ content. Have that in there. Add Amazon posts, add videos, videos for this product. You can see they have a lot of videos. Oh, this is related, but they have like here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Add questions. Answer all of your customers' questions. Is this keto? Okay. It says our keto-friendly ground coffee. Is this keto-friendly? Yes. Perfect. Keto-friendly instant matcha. Thank you. Now I feel confident to buy it because I'm on keto right now. So I wasn't gonna buy this if it wasn't keto, right? If it had sugar. I can like type in how's this. So you can from your own buyer account, you can ask all of these questions and then answer them here. And so again, having a good dashboard, tracking these numbers, don't micromanage it, but it's good to see here because if we were looking at last week and on Prime Day, like it had 900 in sales, and this looked like 3,000. My team is going to be like, wow, we're doing amazing. Or, you could be like, and it's like, no, guys, this was just because of Prime Day. Let's wait till today to like this week's data and then evaluate. And I would never know that if I wasn't tracking daily. But again, I'm looking at weekly summaries mainly. And as I do these tests on the main image and rest of the images, whatever, I'm looking for that conversion rate overall to improve week over week.
Yeah.
And that's it for my presentation.
That's great.
Did I show you what I got?
You definitely showed us what you got. So let's just recap slightly. For people that are maybe it went a little too fast or you need some more information, I want you to get a hold of Mina. And the way you'll do that is we're going to pop that up on the screen for you guys to take a look, or you can check down in the description area if you're watching on YouTube, triviumco.com, or email Mina at triviumco.com. Mina, that was great information. Again, if you're watching this and it's recorded, please leave a question in the comment section, and I'll make sure Mina gets the answer to me, and we'll get that posted up and get you that answer. There was some.
I want to comment on
Yep.
This dashboard is fully automated. It pulls from Amazon. It's only one way, so it only pulls. It doesn't push. It's $60 a month. If you guys are doing it with Trivium, and the benefit is it's always the most up to date format. So not only does it have like this, it also has like we're building in like your PPC, your keywords, your PPC spend on that keyword, and then your sponsored ranking, your organic ranking, so you can actually identify so all of these different things that I'm rolling out there, you'll have access to them.
Yeah. Wow. That's a really good deal for that. I mean, considering what you're getting, I mean,
The
that was
only way
really
you can
neat.
do this is because we are doing it at scale, so we have economies of
Yeah.
scale, so the company can charge us a lot less, and we pass that savings on. But if you go directly with the company, it's obviously, well, you can have access to this dashboard, and it'll just be more expensive.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So just real quick before we wrap up, and I'm going to have Mina just kind of go over one more time how to reach out to him. Had a couple quick comments. My boss, Yoni, was listening in. He said, looking good, fellas.
Yoni!
Another person said, hi, Mina, and good job. They loved it. So yeah, that's some absolute incredible information you shared with us. You definitely showed us how to dominate your Amazon ads. That tool is amazing. And once again, just tell everybody how they get a hold of you if they're interested in getting on that tool, and what do they need to do?
So it's my email is mina@triviumco.com. That's mina@triviumco.com. And then or go to the website triviumco.com. Also, for the people that don't want to pay, because I understand everyone has different situations. I put in the comments a link to the sheet. Please, this is the Google sheet. So please, Rob, if you can also attach that.
Yeah.
If you guys want to
put
do
it
it
down in the
yourself with a
description.
VA, yeah, you can do it
Yep.
yourself with a VA. Totally. I obviously, don't want to kind of like be like, oh, I have this secret stuff that no one can have access to. This is just like the $60 is for the automation portion. So you don't have to fill it out yourself.
Yeah. So somebody's asking about how to join. So once again, if you're interested in joining, just head on over to triviumco.com. Again, I'll put the link to the sheet in the description on the YouTube channels, both the GETIDA one and the Sellernomics channel. Look down in the description or wherever you're watching it right now. We'll make sure to have that down in there. Man, you brought it for sure. And I was on a little hiatus, but man, coming back, you came back, you helped me come back strong with this episode.
Oh, dude.
I really appreciate that. Be sure to reach out to Mina. And I always enjoy having Mina on. Actually, I think it's the second time we had him on this year because he brings such great information and he's always willing to help sellers out. And that includes trade shows or anytime you see him, be sure to reach out to him. And Mina, you definitely show us what you had for sure, man. So, hey, thanks again, everybody. Hit that like, subscribe, and leave those comments, and we'll see you on the next episode. Thanks.
Let's kill it on Amazon.
There you go.
Thanks for joining us this week on the Sellernomics Podcast. Special thanks to our sponsor, GETIDA. Did you know that Amazon probably owes you money for FBA reimbursements? Get $400 in free FBA reimbursements at getida.com/Sellernomics. Be sure to join us again next week for more great tips on how to grow your business. And thanks again for listening.